Bonjour, bonjour. Je vais vous donner des mots d'ouverture et puis je suis prêt pour vos questions. Donc, premièrement, je dois dire qu'on s'amuse beaucoup. Ici à Montréal, c'est incroyable. On a eu un événement hier soir et merci pour votre présence pour appuyer notre candidat Craig Sauvé. On a vraiment aimé ça. On a fait la porte-à-porte, tous les députés ensemble. On a pris le métro ensemble aussi. On a vraiment aimé ça. Aujourd'hui, je veux parler du fait qu'on croit, les néo-démocrates, on croit profondément que tout le monde, n'importe où vous vivez, vous devez avoir le droit de trouver du logement abordable. Ça, c'est quelque chose de fondamental dans la vie des gens. Mais malheureusement, ce n'est pas le cas. Maintenant, les gens vivent en peur qu'ils vont perdre leur appartement et puis il n'y a aucune option, il n'y a aucune alternative. Les gens vivent en peur qu'ils vont être rénovés par les géants de l'immobilier. Et ça, c'est un grand problème. Et c'est clair que Justin Trudeau a laissé ces géants d'exploiter les gens, de continuer d'augmenter les loyers, d'exploiter leurs locataires. Ça, c'est quelque chose qu'on doit arrêter. Et c'est clair que Pierre Poilievre et les conservateurs ne vont pas régler ça. Le conseil principal pour Pierre Poilievre est un lobbyiste pour les géants de l'immobilier. Donc, il va prendre les conseils de ces géants au lieu d'aider les gens. Et si on regarde les bilans de ces deux partis, de Pierre Poilievre et Justin Trudeau, ils ont laissé plus d'1 million de logements abordables être vendus aux riches entreprises. Et ça a augmenté les prix et on a perdu ces logements abordables. Donc, ce que je veux annoncer aujourd'hui, mon équipe et moi, on va présenter un projet de loi dans cette session pour faire deux choses. On va bannir les géants de l'immobilier d'acheter du logement abordable. Le problème, c'est, si on regarde dans les années 90, il y a zéro logement abordable où le propriétaire était un géant de l'immobilier. Maintenant, c'est plus que 20%. Donc, on va bannir les géants de l'immobilier d'acheter du logement abordable. Et deuxièmement, on va arrêter l'argent public aux géants de l'immobilier qui exploitent les gens, qui augmentent les prix, qui rénovent les gens. On va dire non à ces entreprises. Vous ne pouvez pas recevoir l'argent public si vous exploitez les locataires. Ça, c'est ce qu'on va proposer, ça, c'est ce qu'on va mettre en place, un projet de loi qu'on va déposer ensemble comme une équipe cette session. I'm going to do that in English, then I look forward to your questions. So first off, I got to say, we're having a really good time here in Montreal. Alexandre has been a great host. This is his city, as he likes to remind us. And we've had an awesome time spending time with Craig Sauvé at his campaign office. Thanks to folks that were there to see the energy in the campaign office. We went door to door. And we brought the MPs on a subway ride, which folks really enjoyed to get to the office. And so we're having a good time here. Today we're talking about something very important. We believe fundamentally that no matter where you live in this country, you should be able to find a place that you can afford. You should be able to find a place to call home. But that sadly is not the case. More and more people are living in constant fear that they will lose their apartment and there's nowhere for them to go. They live in constant fear that the corporate landlord is going to just jack up their rent and they're not going to be able to afford it. Or if they lose their apartment, there's just no other options. This has to change. And under Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, they've let these corporate landlords rip off Canadians. They've let them continue to exploit their tenants. And this is wrong. And we know that Pierre Poilievre is not going to fix this problem. His chief strategist is a lobbyist for these real estate development companies. So he's going to take advice from them. He's not going to take them on. He's not going to stop them. And if you look at their combined track record, the Liberals and Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives allowed the sale, they sold off effectively 1 million affordable homes. These were deeply affordable. They both combined, sold them off to rich developers, to rich corporate landlords. And that has meant we've lost 1 million affordable places to live. So this is our plan. In this upcoming session as a team, we are going to present a bill that's going to do two things. One, it's going to ban corporate landlords from buying affordable homes. We see this happening again and again. Back in the 90s, 0 of the apartments that you saw were owned by big corporate landlords. Now, over 20% are owned by large corporate landlords, and they continue to jack up the rents. That's the one thing we're going to do. Second thing is, we are going to make sure that no corporate landlord receives even a cent of public money if they abuse or exploit their tenants, if they jack up rents unfairly, if they rent evict their tenants, if they do anything that exploits or undermines the rights of tenants, they're not going to get a single cent of public money. And what we're talking about is, right now, corporate landlords get preferential tax treatment, they get direct financial subsidies, they even get CMHC-backed loans that allow them to buy more properties. We're not going to let them have a single cent of public money if they rip off their tenants. We're going to protect renters.
Si vous avez perdu confiance aux libéraux de Justin Trudeau, pourquoi ne pas écouter Pierre Poilievre et voter non confiance en Chambre? Pourquoi pas faire ça? Vous avez déjà perdu confiance.
Je vais jamais écouter Pierre Poilievre et les conservateurs. Ce sont des gens qui veulent démolir notre système de santé. Ils veulent couper les pensions. Ils veulent attaquer les travailleurs. Et leur bilan montre ça. Je ne vais jamais écouter les conseils de quelqu'un qui veut faire mal aux gens. On veut ramener l'espoir pour les gens. On ne va jamais écouter Pierre Poilievre et les conservateurs qui veut faire mal aux gens. I've said on any vote, we're going to look at the vote and we'll make our decision. I'm not going to say our decision ahead of time. We will look at the votes and we'll make a determination on what's in the best interest of Canadians. Unlike Pierre Poilievre, who wants to play games, we actually want to get things done for Canadians.
On Air Canada, Poilievre said today that he supports the workers, the pilots in their dispute with Air Canada. Similarly, with the train dispute, he didn't want the government to intervene right away. So he seems to be trying to make an appeal to private sector unionized workers, which is traditionally your base. What do you make of that effort?
Well, first of all, when the rail workers were talking about going on a strike, we didn't hear a peep out of Pierre Poilievre. We didn't hear a squeak out of him. He didn't say anything. And in fact, he didn't show up. You know who your friends are when you're in a fight. And when the workers were in a fight, did Pierre Poilievre show up to any picket lines, to any rallies with those workers? No, he didn't. We showed up. I showed up. Alexandre showed up. Our team is always there with workers. It's not for us this political game that Pierre Poilievre likes to play. We always show up for working people. We always have their backs. When it comes to Air Canada, we want to again make it very clear. While Conservatives and Liberals lean on back-to-work legislation, they both have done that. Pierre Poilievre has voted in favor of back-to-work legislation multiple times. He has forced workers back to work, undermining their rights many times. Don't let him fool you. This is someone who attacks workers whenever he gets a chance. Whenever push comes to shove, he's not going to choose the workers. He's going to choose his corporate buddies. We are always going to support the working people. We're always going to back them up. We want to send a clear message to the Liberals. Do not interfere with the workers and their rights to negotiate freely for a contract.
You have spent 2 days here. Are you saying that your only priority heading into the fall sitting is a private member's bill on housing? What else are the NDP going to prioritize?
We mentioned yesterday one of our other major priorities is the fact that people are really hurting when it comes to the cost of groceries. And we've said that putting in place a price cap immediately would lower the price of food essentials like bread and baby formula, immediately lower those food essentials to give people some relief. And Liberals and Conservatives already voted against that once. Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau took the side of massive record profit-making large corporate grocery stores over people. We're going to continue to fight to bring down the price of groceries and protect renters.
What's your response to Pierre Poilievre? What's your response to what he said today specifically that the NDP should put up or shut up?
I say directly to Pierre Poilievre, I'm not going to listen to you, someone who wants to destroy our healthcare system, who wants to hurt seniors by cutting their pensions, someone who wants to attack workers, someone who wants to strip away dental care from seniors. What kind of person wants to strip away dental care when seniors have just gotten it, when kids are receiving it? Who wants to take that away from them? I'm never going to listen to someone like that. So no, I'm not going to listen to your advice. You want to destroy people's lives. I want to build up a brighter future. I want to build a better future for Canadians.
Is the reason you don't want an election because it looks like the Conservatives will win?
We have said by ripping up the agreement with Justin Trudeau, I know that makes an election more likely than before. There will be an election. There will be an election at some point, and that election is going to be a choice between Pierre Poilievre, who wants to cut the things you need, or New Democrats who want to give back people hope. J'ai manqué le... Combien de...
6. Tu penses que le NPD pourrait former un gouvernement?
je sais qu'on a une grande bataille devant nous, mais le choix est vraiment clair dans la prochaine élection. Les gens sont tannés avec les libéraux. Les gens me disent ils ont dit que Justin Trudeau est fini. On ne veut pas voir un prochain premier ministre libéral. On ne veut pas voir Justin Trudeau comme premier ministre dans le futur. Donc, les gens vont avoir un choix. Et je sais que ça, c'est une grande bataille, c'est un grand défi. Mais le choix, c'est entre les coupures conservatrices de Pierre Poilievre ou l'espoir des néo-démocrates. Ça, c'est le choix dans la prochaine élection.
Vous attaquez Pierre Poilievre encore aujourd'hui. Vous attaquez Pierre Poilievre. Vous dites qu'il n'y a pas de collaboration possible avec Pierre Poilievre. Pourquoi vous ouvrez encore la porte à peut-être voter pour sa motion de non-confiance?
Je veux dire encore, je vais voir chaque motion, chaque vote qui est devant nous. Et puis, comme équipe, on va décider comment on va voter. Je ne vais pas dire notre position maintenant parce qu'on n'a pas regardé la motion. On va regarder la motion et puis on va décider c'est quoi dans les intérêts, le meilleur intérêt des Canadiens, des Québécois et des Québécoises. Ça, c'est comment on va gérer les choses. Mais ce qui est clair, Pierre Poilievre veut couper vos pensions, on veut renforcer vos pensions.
Can I just ask you about a term that Poilievre keeps calling you, or Nate keeps calling you Sello Singh. We heard from Minister Harjit Sajjan earlier today in Nanaimo that he said that is a very, very racist term. As a Sikh man, he sees it as that way. How do you see it?
I think what Pierre Poilievre is doing, and the Conservatives have done for a long time, they like to insult. They like to make things about petty insults and make things about attacking people personally. You see, what I do is I attack what he's going to do to Canadians. I'm concerned that Pierre Poilievre's vision of Canada is to tear down our healthcare system. And so I attack him on the policy that he's going to hurt Canadians by tearing down our healthcare system, and so you're going to have to pay out of pocket to the care you need. I think that is horrible. I think that's bad. But I attack him on his policies, on his bad decisions, on his track record. He likes to insult people and call people names. I think that shows you what type of person he is. And that's going to be an important part of the decision Canadians make in the next election. Do you want someone who pays petty insults and insults people personally, or someone who's actually going to fight for you to make sure you have a good healthcare system? That's a part of the choice Canadians have in the next election.
En français sur Air Canada, s'il vous plaît, Monsieur Singh. En français sur Air Canada.
I think for Pierre Poilievre, he's doing what Conservatives often do. And what he often does is he likes to insult people. This is the kind of person he is. But in general, I am concerned about the general rise of hate that we're seeing, targeting many different communities, the Sikh community included. We're seeing a rise of anti-Semitism. We're seeing a rise of Islamophobia. We're seeing a lot of hate increasing against the LGBTQ community, against Indigenous people. Anti-Indigenous racism is on the rise. There's a lot of really concerning rise in hate, and that is something I think we all have a collective responsibility to say, no, that's not the Canada we want. We want to take care of our neighbors. We want to look out for the people around us. We care about each other. We want to build a safe community for everyone, and everyone should feel like they belong. And so that's something I'm concerned about.
Sur Air Canada, Monsieur Singh, M. Poilievre, ce matin, n'a pas fermé la porte complètement. Il a dit qu'il ne fallait pas intervenir, que le gouvernement ne devrait pas intervenir maintenant. C'est le terme qu'il utilise.
Donc, c'est clair, si on regarde les bilans de Pierre Poilievre personnellement et le bilan des conservateurs en général, ils ont toujours ingéré dans les dossiers où il y a une bataille entre les travailleurs et les grandes entreprises, et ils ont toujours choisi les grandes entreprises au lieu des travailleurs. Ça, c'est leur bilan. Ça, c'est le bilan de Pierre Poilievre. Ça, c'est le bilan des conservateurs. Ils ont forcé les travailleurs de retourner au travail. Ils ont ingéré pour attaquer les syndicats. Ça, c'est qui Pierre Poilievre est. Ça, c'est qui les conservateurs sont.
Il y a 2 jours, il y a un sondage qui montre que les Canadiens
I'll give one follow-up here.
Il y a un sondage qui montre que les Canadiens veulent le déclenchement d'une élection. Que ce soit causé par Pierre Poilievre ou non. Vous, est-ce que vous êtes prêt à répondre à cette demande-là, ce souhait-là du peuple canadien?
Donc, on a déchiré l'entente avec les libéraux, donc on sait qu'en faisant ça, ça crée plus de probabilités d'avoir une élection. On va regarder chaque motion devant nous et on va prendre au sérieux la décision. Et comment on va voter va être décidé par c'est quoi l'intérêt, c'est quoi dans l'intérêt des Canadiens, Canadiennes, c'est quoi dans l'intérêt des Québécois et Québécoises. Ça va gérer comment répondre à chaque motion ou vote dans la Chambre de communs.
Do you say the Conservatives are playing games? They say that this was a trick working up the deal. Can you explain to Canadians why you did this? Because you had to have known these questions were going to come up about how you would vote in a non-confidence vote.
We're going to do one more after this one.
Sure. So we made it really clear with tearing up the agreement with Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, we got a lot of things done, important things that we forced this government to do. We brought in dental care, the steps for pharmacare, anti-scab legislation. So we got a lot of concrete things done. It became very clear that on fighting back against conservative cuts and taking on corporate greed, which is driving up the cost of your groceries, the cost of your rent, the Liberals and Justin Trudeau were simply too weak and too beholden to corporate interests to do what was necessary. So we made a decision that we can no longer continue the agreement, and we've ripped up the agreement. Now we're back in a standard minority government where we're going to make a decision based on every vote that's in front of us. That is a normal way of operating, and if you see in the past, we haven't said how we're going to vote on things before they come before the House, because we want to look at it before it becomes the House, and then we'll make our decision in the best interest of Canadians. Pretty standard operating how minority governments function. That's what we're saying. Last question.
Your candidate in this by-election has used a Palestinian flag on one of his pamphlets. Do you endorse that?
There is nothing more Canadian than being worried about justice and peace, than caring about justice and peace in the region, than being heartbroken over seeing the violence and the loss of life and the deaths and the killing. And we fundamentally believe that Canada is not doing its part to stop a genocide from happening in Gaza. Justin Trudeau and the Liberals have failed Canadians on this, and people feel really let down. Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives would be even worse on this. We're the only party that's consistently said we need to take every action possible as a nation to promote and protect peace and justice in Gaza and across the world. En français, puis on est fini. Oui. Donc, il n'y a aucune chose qui est plus canadien, qui est plus de nos valeurs comme pays, qui est plus québécois de dire on va appuyer la justice et la paix. Ça, c'est les valeurs canadiennes. C'est nos valeurs comme parti. Et Craig Sauvé et toute notre équipe, et plusieurs Canadiens, le grand montant des Canadiens, ce qui se passe en Gaza brise le cœur des gens, de voir les enfants tués, de voir les gens tués. Et les gens sont tellement tannés de Justin Trudeau et les libéraux qui continuent de délai, de ne prendre pas les actions nécessaires pour faire tout ce qu'on peut comme pays dans un étage mondial pour arrêter ce génocide qui se passe en Gaza. Et ça, c'est quelque chose que je veux dire. Nous sommes le seul parti qui a toujours faire la promotion de la paix et la justice, d'être clair sur notre position. Pierre Poilievre est pire que les libéraux. Justin Trudeau, c'est délai. Et nous, qu'on va continuer de mettre la pression pour voir la justice et la paix. Merci. Merci.